Call to the booth. Aqib Talib here. Bill made headlines today. Cam is gone. Mac Jones, can you hold it down? Paul, drop that beat.
Harrison Sanford, Aqib Talib, a surpriser throughout the entirety of the NFL happened on Tuesday. Cam Newton released from the New England Patriots. Mac Jones, QB1, and Aqib. What's crazy is that I was just looking at Cam's Instagram just like 3-4 days ago. He posted like a carousel on IG. The last one said QB1, so it makes me feel like that was a shock to him too. How'd you take the news when you first heard it?
Surprised the shit out of me, honestly. I don't know, just, I feel like I know what's going on. I don't know what's going on over there, but, I feel like I got a good feel for, how shit go. It surprised the hell out of me, man. It had to have something to do with that last little COVID trip, man. So I think he was QB1 by the time before that trip, he was QB1. But, Bill is real detailed about handling your business. And, if that COVID situation going to be a situation, I think he don't even want it to be a situation. So, he made a move.
All right, so we're not going to throw shade here at Mac Jones, but on the field, is he qualified to be QB number one? If let's say Cam Newton was vaccinated, would Mac Jones be QB1 at some point this season? Maybe not to start the season, but would he have taken over that job based on the on-field talent and the leadership, things of that nature?
Well, I think it all go off how you plan. So leadership and all, both guys got everything you just named. They both got talent. They both got leadership skills. It would have just really went off, is Cam playing good or is he not playing good? But man, that shit crazy. I think Mac Jones could get it done though. I think he can be QB1. He can get the job done, man. He got a good defense, good vets around him. He got a great offensive coordinator who gonna shrink the mental down a little bit, man. So he's still gonna have to put in that work, but he with the right people. So I think he can get it done.
So he's got Nelson Aguilar there. He's got Damian Harris in the backfield. We just saw earlier on Tuesday as well, Stephon Gilmore put on the PUP list, so out for the first 6 games. What do you think this actually means for the performance of the team? Does it actually change the trajectory of where they could be in this sole season? Or do you think he maybe raises that ceiling for this year?
Well, I mean, if you go back to our draft shows, you know what I'm saying, leave on tape telling you, Mac Jones is with the shit. I told you he with the shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Everything we do recorded. Paul, pull a clip. Drop the clip. Number 4, Mac Jones to the Patriots. I think they got a souped up team right now. They ready for the next 2-3 years. They ready for war the next 2-3 years. I think they're going to start it off letting it be Cam. Let him run his show, man. If Cam get hurt or even if Cam just not throwing the ball like they want him to throw the ball, kind of like he did last year, I think they got Mac Jones, man, and I guarantee you, Josh McDaniels love Mac Jones. He got his own pack. He got a way he'll run that same offense with Mac Jones and take the running out of it. I guarantee you, he's already ready for it. That's the perfect offensive coordinator for Mac Jones to go to, man, and he's surrounded by a bunch of weapons. Next year or two, they'll get another big-time receiver. So I think they got 2 number 2 receivers right now, but they got dog tight ends as well, so it kind of balance out. So you bring in the future, Mac Jones, Cam might not get him, but Mac Jones, he gonna be the one who get a big time number 1 receiver out there in New England, and I think that's the perfect landing spot for him. I told you Mac Jones is like that, and I think that's why Bill picked him in the first round, early in the first round, because he knew he had a lot of talent. He knew he could be one of the franchise guys, but I think he would have rather him learn behind the guy and kind of get in where he fit in. But man, Cam ain't handling business, man. I can't have my starting quarterback missing 5 and 6 days. I just can't do it. So I think he just gonna insert the rookie, man. Put him in now. Josh McDaniels say he think he ready to go, man. See if he can go.
All right, so now if you look at the landscape of that AFC East, there's a lot of young quarterbacks. There's also another rookie quarterback in that division, Zach Wilson. The odds for Mac Jones moved all the way down from 10-1 to 5-1 to some places 3-1 to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's not a profitable bet if you did it, but would you do it? Mac Jones, Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I'd do it. I know the offense is going to be A+, planned, A+ called, right? You got a great offensive coordinator in play. Man, you got a ball hawking, turnover getting defense. I do it, man. I think he got the right guys around him to make him successful, man. He got good coaching, great leadership around him, and then on top of that, all the skills he brings to the table, man. So I think he got a great chance to be Rookie of the Year. As long as he plays 16 or 17 games, he got a great chance to be Rookie of the Year.
So we're gonna get to the Patriots' odds here in a bit as it pertains to them winning the division and things of that nature. But I want to let's go to Cam for a moment here. I was thinking about it, and I'm thinking to myself, if you're Cam Newton, a former MVP, the guy with his stature, you get released,
right?
There's no more. There's not even a preseason game to play anymore. If you went somewhere else, you would be behind in the playbook for sure. I feel as if the only place, and as you pointed out, he's not vaccinated too. So a team would be bringing in a quarterback that they don't even know who would be available in certain instances because of his unvaccinated status. I'm thinking the only place that actually would make sense from a playbook standpoint, right, would be Arizona, potentially backing up Kyler Murray, or the Baltimore Ravens, who no longer have Robert Griffin III, who was there last year, to back up Lamar. Outside of that, if you're now, Cam might be down to go anywhere. But if you're a team, outside of those two teams, I don't know where it would even make sense to bring him in. What do you think?
Yeah, I think at this point, man, we however many days, 1 week away from football, you know what I'm saying, 10 days away from football. Everybody know who their starting quarterback is at this point. So I don't think you bring Cam in to like be a backup on your team. So I don't think he go nowhere immediately. I think he just kind of, stay in free agent. He stay a free agent until the injuries pop up. Now when the injuries start to pop up, somebody gonna need a vet to come in and immediately, you know what I'm saying, become a leader on the team and be able to run the show. And that's what kind of guy Cam is, man. You could put him in any locker room. He gonna adjust. He gonna learn the playbook quick as he can. And until he learn the playbook, he gonna be able to use his legs and just use his veteran shit that he got. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what team it is right now, but injuries gonna happen and a team will pop up.
I know when we talked about Mac Jones and Cam Newton earlier in the offseason, I asked you if what would happen this season for Cam would impact his legacy. And I actually the same question about OBJ. I think you said his legacy's kind of cemented. But now looking at this, he had a golden opportunity to improve offensive line. Bill spent all that bread in the offseason to rejuvenate that offense. And for one reason or another, you didn't win the starting quarterback job over a rookie. I'll ask you the question again. Does what happened in this season impact his legacy?
I still don't think so, man. I think everything that he's done up to this point is still there, right? And if it's the end of Cam, it's the end of Cam. That's just how he went out. You know what I'm saying? If it's not, that was just a bump in the road, and then he got another little end part of his story or whatever. So I don't think him getting released by the Patriots, I don't think that erased everything that he done did for football, for the culture, for, African-American quarterbacks, man. He still did so much, man. So his legacy is his legacy. Hey, Broncos fans, make sure y'all tune in Thursdays for our Broncos show. This Thursday, we talking Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater being QB number one, what does he give this Denver Broncos team, Aqib?
Ball security. That's the thing that won him the job is how he take care of the football. So, man, since he been in the league, I think he hung his hat on that, taking care of the football. I remember the first time I played him, that's what we said about him. Man, he throwing dots. He taking care of the football. So, with a good defense and a good O-line, you plan on running the football, then that's who you're going to get a job to, the person who's going to take care of the football the best, man. I think Teddy deserves it.
So with Teddy winning that job over Drew Lock, Aqib, what do you think the floor is and what do you think the ceiling is for 2021 with the Broncos?
Oh, well, we're going to start with the good. The ceiling, man, I think if that run game really get going and the defense is as advertised, Teddy can get him 11 wins, man. So what is that? 17, 11-6. I think he can get 11-6, and that'll get him like a wild card. That'd be one of the three extra teams. in the tournament. So I think that's the ceiling, man. If that run game really get going, Teddy can get him 11 wins. If that run game not really doing too good, man, if the injury bug bite the team, I think as it can get as ugly as 5 or 6 wins, man. It could be 5 or 6 wins if they ain't running that football. So, man, it's O-line got a lot to do with it. O-line and the run game got a lot to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Teddy going to go as far as that O-line take him.
Okay, all right. Let's get into some betting a little bit as we look into the remainder of the season and teams impacted by this move. So we're going to look at your favorite, some of the top division winners. And I would like to think that the Bills are maybe even more likely to win that AFC East now, just with another young quarterback in that division in the AFC East. So we're looking at some odds here. The Bills to win the AFC East, minus 150. The Packers to win the NFC North, minus 145. Again, these bets are not going to win you a lot of bread, but could make sense. Any one of those that you like?
I like the Packers, man. I like the Packers. I think they're going to dominate that division. And the odds ain't too bad. Minus 145, man. You'll still pick up some cash. So, man, that's your best bet right there, the Packers.
Where you really like to get some money is when you start picking underdogs. So I know Paul had laid out some underdogs for us, and maybe, Paul, you could take us through some of these options as well. But I know, Aqib, you had identified a team that you've been on in the NFC West for a minute now.
Man, them Cardinals, I'm telling you, I don't know why. I just feel like the Cardinals going to catch fire this year. They're going to finally put it all together, man. They got a couple more young guys they adding to the puzzle. And I just like what they're doing. I like their schedule, man. They got the, AFC South, I think, and the NFC North. So that's not the strongest division in the AFC. That's not the strongest division in the NFC. They're going to play all the third-place teams. So, I don't know. I just like their schedule, man. I like their makeup. I think they catch fire, get over the hump this year.
I know you like the Eagles, too, the offensive line. But I wonder if your belief in Jalen Hurts or what you think the team believes in him maybe altered a bit by them trading for Gardner Minshew. Because now he's a live threat. He's a live threat, I would think.
Well, I think you need a good backup, man. And that's what Gardner Minshew is. He a good backup quarterback. They know he going to come in, he going to compete at the highest level if he ever have to play. He going to be prepared to play. So I think he's just another guy who can run zone read. He can move a little bit. He kind of fit the description of their quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So Jalen Hurts is the guy in Philly, man. The O-line, the receivers, everybody know. The whole building knows Jalen Hurts is the guy over there. And I like Philly, but I don't know if I like them to, be 13, 14, 12 kind of wins. I like them to just be a much better team than they was last year.
Okay, Paul. Paul Aspen, our producer here as well. Paul, you want to take us through some of these favorite win totals for over and under?
All right, so we figured we'd do some low unders and some high overs as far as best bet for an over and an under. So we've got Packers over 10.5. And then on the low end, Jags over 6.5. So do you like either one of those, Aqib?
Oh, I love Packers over 10.5, man. We got 17 games. Packers won't lose more than 5. You know what I'm saying? So that's at least 12 wins right there, if my math correct. You know what I'm saying? So I love Packers over 10-5. Easy bet.
How about a quick thought on the Jags? Just overall, where do you think they're at? I mean, it's like, they've got Urban Meyer, they got Trevor Lawrence. Just, they're kind of like a little bit of buzz of them during the offseason, kind of a down division. But where do you think they're at as we're about to start the season?
Yeah, they running back. I think ETN going down. He was going to be a big part of their offense. I think that's going to hurt them. And I think they're going to be right around that win total, man. They're going to be around 5, 6, or 7, right around there. Not too much, but next year it'll increase a little bit. That third year under Trevor Lawrence, man, they'll be in the door.
All right, let's go unders. Choose one of these. So low under, Falcons under 7.5. Arthur Smith going to Atlanta, or the Ravens under 11. Obviously, they just lost J.K. Dobbins.
Oh man, no, the Ravens definitely not. They might be at 11. I like them to get more than 11. So I'm gonna go under 7.5 with the Falcons. They've been struggling. The Falcons been struggling, man, and I don't know if they're gonna improve too much with the new head coaches and stuff like that. So Still got Matt Ryan under center. You lose Julio. Man, I think Calvin really a hell of a player. I think Pitt's going to come on, but I think they're going to change quarterbacks before they really crank up.
With that being said, actually, if we're thinking about quarterbacks, Aqib actually selected Matt Ryan in our fantasy football draft that we did last week. And why don't we go inside some of those clips when Aqib made that pick, and also Mina Kimes selected Kyle Pitts at her tight end position as well.
Oh, y'all just the fantasy gurus, right? All right. I'm like Al Davis, man. Tyreek, let's go. I got secrets for my running back. I know shit y'all don't know.
Welcome to Call to the Booth, a special fantasy football live draft edition.
I'm going to take Kyle Pitts.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Rolling the
Mina,
dice.
that's a good pick right there.
Stop playing with him, Mina.
Antonio Gibson. You guys can all go home now. Antonio Gibson.
If I go Jefferson, am I going to get more hate or what? Justin Jefferson. Mina's face. Mina's
I know how you draft now, Claudia.
We're not doing this.
Great pick.
I'm gonna go with Kenny G.
Kenny Galladay, huh?
He's the worst, bro.
Do not drop PM, but we sponsored by Manscaped. Peyton, league gonna win the league, right?
All right, so it happens every year in the NFL. One team that made the playoffs doesn't make it again, or doesn't come back, and then one team that wasn't there makes it to the playoffs. It's a tradition old as day.
Always.
And a lot of it's just because of the way the schedules work out, things of that nature. So, Keith, as we're looking at it now, give me one team that did not make the playoffs last year that should this year.
Man, I keep talking about the same team over and over again, but it's going to be the Cardinals, man. They was close last year. I think that little high ankle sprain or that ankle sprain that Kyler Murray had a lot to do with them not making it last year. He stayed healthy, man. The Cardinals going to be in there. And, yeah, the Cardinals, man. Definitely got to be the Cardinals.
I know we didn't talk too much about this before the show, but I did want to mention, so it looks like Malcolm Butler, apparently some articles are coming out that he's considering retirement. Obviously, they don't have Patrick Peterson back there in that backfield anymore. Drake Kirkpatrick is no longer in the NFL. That secondary has not been, is not going to be, you perceive it not to be strong. I know they added J.J. Watt, but does that impact, if Malcolm Butler decides no longer to be there, this is a passing league, you're going to lose one of your top DBs. Does that change your perception in a division with Matthew Stafford and Russell Wilson? It would seem as if you would like to have at least one strong veteran DB back there to kind of back up those pass rushers.
Definitely. When I see the Cardinals catching fire, I definitely see Malcolm Butler at cornerback. You know what I'm saying? I definitely see him on the team. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to affect them, man. It's definitely going to affect them, man. You need vets in the meeting room. You know what I'm saying? Just to clean up stuff. So I hope he there, man. I hope he there. I hope whatever he going through, I hope he overcoming, and I hope he be on the roster for them boys.
All right, and then one team here, and I'll go ahead and state it for you. It is the one team that you think is going to miss the playoffs. I made it last year. The New Orleans Saints, and you could express why they're at minus 134. But I did want to mention, and obviously with the hurricane that has happened in New Orleans, for anybody who is listening in that area or has family or friends in that area, our thoughts and our prayers are with you. It's devastating news, and I know obviously you were in the NFL when they had the hurricane back a while back, and obviously it was a tragedy through that area. So wanted to relay our sentiments to anybody impacted by that. And the key, I'll let you follow up with anything you want to say as it pertains to that. And obviously the Saints are your pick to miss the playoffs this year as well.
Yeah, definitely praying for New Orleans, man. Another tragedy, man, we hate to see. But we definitely praying for y'all out here in Dallas. But you lose Drew Brees, man. It's going to be hard to follow that act. I love Jameis Winston. I love how hard he worked. I love his, his confidence that he play with. But, man, it's going to be a different show. It's going to be a different ship in New Orleans. And I think they finish around 8-9, maybe 10 wins. And I don't know if that's enough to get you in the tournament.
All right, so now we're going to focus on some player prop bets again last year. I think Paul's abusing his power of being a Call to the Booth employee. For those listening, watching, Paul made a bet last year. Stephon Diggs being the receiving leader So he's going. He's back again. Hey, Paul, how much money did you win last year?
It was like $1,000. Wasn't it
Couple
was,
dollars, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
$2.
Aqib.
a little spending money.
Aqib.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, enough for a survivor entry for us this year.
Aqib, you should ask for commission on that. But with that being said, he is back to the well now. This time, Calvin Ridley, could be an option that he picks. How do you like his odds right here, Aqib, to lead the league in receiving at plus 1,000?
I like it, man. I think Atlanta going to throw the football a ton. I think they're going to be, in passing situations a lot in the fourth quarter, just like they was last year. So he's going to be their number one receiver for sure now. No Julio. He's going to demand all the targets. He's going to get all the targets. And I think him and Matt Ryan built some good chemistry last year, man. So I think they're going to build off what they did last year. And sneaky number one. He's going to finish number one real quietly.
I got one for you guys. I'm going to try and run it back. How about Terry McLaurin at 19-1? He's top 15 in targets and yards last year. Fitz, he's going to sling it. The football team, actually threw the ball like a lot more than you would think for a Ron Rivera coach team last year. And he's got that Stephon Diggs kind of formula where there's like no true number two. I mean, there's like a 2.5 or like a 1.5. Right. That's like a what? That's like a John Brown? No?
I feel that. But when you got a good ass defense like that, you tend to run the ball more. You know what I'm saying? You tend to take some of them passes down. So you got the number one, number two, number three defense in the league. You can't have the number one receiver in the league. I don't feel like they don't balance up. They don't work like that.
I find myself conflicted just because I don't know how many times Calvin Ridley is going to be able to avoid double team coverage as a wide receiver.
He got Pitts there now. He got Pitts. And Pitts worked the middle. So you're going to pick your poison, man. It's tough to, when you got a dog ass tight end on the team, it's tough to guard. It's tough to double that number one receiver because not a dog ass tight end go crazy on you.
Okay, bet. Last question before we move to MVP. Even odds. Stephon Diggs, Calvin Ridley. Who gets more receiving yards? If the odds were even for both.
See, I feel like the Bills going to have a problem with the double teams on Diggs more than the Falcons that have problems with Ridley. So I'm going Ridley.
Okay, bet. Next one, moving into MVP. There's a lot of options out there. Josh Allen, as Stephon Diggs, quarterback, could be an option. Tom Brady coming in at plus 1,200. Would you place that bet?
I'm riding with Tom, man. I seen that last preseason game. Tom was going crazy. He damn near completed every ball he threw. They look in midseason form, and I think by halfway through the season last year, Tom really kind of caught his wave. And second year in this Bruce Arians ran offense, man, he know what we trying to do. He got all his weapons. He know how he gonna use all his weapons. Tommy gonna go crazy this year.
It seems, as I'm looking at fantasy football drafts across the landscape, a lot of people are picking Tom Brady to have a great season, even from a fantasy football perspective. Real quick, if you were to stop the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with their two quality running backs, or three now with Giovanni Bernard as a pass catching option, with their tight ends, with their wide receivers, how do you actually stop this Tom Brady attack? Can you?
Boy, you're going to have the DBs to do it, man. I only know one way to stop Tom, because we did it. You got to strap up, play man, blitz the shit out of him, and hit him and hit him and hit him and hit him and hit him. He got to keep getting off the ground, and you got to keep playing tight coverage, come up with a few turnovers. That's the only way you're going to beat him.
And not a lot of teams in the NFL have that defensive capability.
Easier said than done.